Hello, Matt and Diona. How are you today?
Hello, good. How are you?
I'm good. Greetings from Toronto, Canada. You both have so many fans here. I was going to go here until the end of the interview, but I'm going to go here now. You guys are both so loved from your television shows, like aside from everything else that you do too. But Diona, I got to start with you because one of my oldest memories, a long time ago, years ago, I was in the Toronto airport, the lounge upstairs. And of course, Mark Harmon walks in, and most of us Canadians usually leave you people alone. We do not bother, we see, oh, there's so-and-so, da-da-da-da. And I was watching this interaction because a group of ladies went over to him and, he could have just said, but he is truly one of the nicest guys around. He really, engaged them. He knows where his bread is buttered. to work with that man, come on, seriously.
He's a real sweetheart. I gotta tell you, I've had some family members come to visit me on set, and when I tell you, Mark was literally bringing them dessert and like sitting at our table and like bussing my sister's tray, like when they ring the bell and they're like, all right guys, we're back from lunch, he's like, hold on, let me just get rid of this tray for you. I'm like, Mark, you do not have to clean up our trash, thank you so much. He's truly the sweetest, and I consider him both a mentor and a friend.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And Matt, for you, to have just come off a really fun series. I loved Man with a Plan. I really, really loved it. But to work with people, like with Matt LeBlanc, but Kevin Nealon, how on earth do you keep your straight face? Like, this is a good lead in for this film, but honestly, wow.
It's really difficult, but luckily with Kevin especially, he would normally laugh before I would. So he took the heat of that. But that was it was the most fun, and everybody on that show was such a delight and so good at what they do. And it was a dream job. It was a blast.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. I truly enjoyed it. Well, congratulations to the both of you on Film Fest. Something I can't relate to on the filmmaker side, but I can certainly relate on the journalist side, because there's been so many film festivals over the last 35 years that I have been to, and I see what these filmmakers go through, and my heart goes out to them. So Matt, let's just start with you, because Logan, he's this guy who's trying to get his film seen and sold at this film festival. He's having some problems, he's trying to get in with even at a party when he's a waiter trying to make a deal and whatever. When you got the script, when you first read it and you thought like, wow, I can kind of relate to this in a way.
Yeah, I think that was a big focus for Marshall and Paul, who wrote the script, and Marshall, who directed it. Yeah. And for myself, we talked a lot about making sure that it wasn't just about the film industry, but it was about somebody chasing their dream. And that, I think, goes across whatever industry you're in. You know when someone's working hard towards something. And I think that's what makes the movie accessible for anyone who decides to watch it. It's a guy on a journey.
Yeah, sure. It's a lot of people on a journey. Like,
there's a bunch. Yeah.
And Diona, exactly. Because Diona, with you, you guys are, your character, Alex, you guys stick together. She's the producer. She's the money person, and she's freaking out. How much fun did you have playing her?
I had so much fun playing Alex. She is, I've said this a couple times, but I think I love being the number 2 to Matt's number 1, because especially if you've seen like Man with a Plan, Matt is just as sweet as that character that he played in Man with a Plan, just like as sweet and funny and heartfelt. And to watch him play this guy that was so navel-gazing and self-absorbed and really working out for himself in some really fun ways was just excellent. And everyone in the cast truly cracks me up.
Yeah. And how many film festivals have you guys been to where you maybe have experienced these kinds of things firsthand? Matt, want to start?
I've only been to like a handful of really small film festivals, if that. But I've been in a lot of small theaters and big festivals, and like a lot of different realms in the arts world where a lot of these characters are fully present. So it was pretty easy to step into.
Yeah. How about for you, Diona?
I gotta say, I'm not an indie film vet, but I did go to art school, so that feels very similar.
Yeah, so there's people that you recognize in this script. There's no question about it. And I have to mention, I mean, Will Sasso's character is hilarious because I have seen a lot of guys like him, you know. And you both have extensive backgrounds, of course, in comedy and improv, especially when you're working with somebody like Will Sasso, who, you know, yay, Canadian, you know, but he's done such great stuff. How do you guys work off people like that? And especially with this script too, because you have a script, but with both your backgrounds in improv and comedy, how much are you allowed to kind of just throw in your own thoughts? Matt, want to start?
Sure. I think Marshall did a great job of making the set feel really comfortable and collaborative. And Marshall and Paul both wrote a really great script. So we would do what was in the script. And then if anyone had an idea, we were allowed to just kind of throw that out there and build and make sure that we were getting the best product. So we would do what was there. And then if one of us had something that we wanted to try, we would throw it out there. And with Will, I mean, I've been such a fan of Will's for so long that it was really fun to see him come in and do his thing. And I just tried to help as best I could and stay out of the way where I needed to, you know?
Yeah, he's hilarious. And
Yeah.
Diona, for you, you know, just to work with him and this cast, and again, like having that comedic background, a theater background, and it's got to be so much fun to have that kind of a freedom when you're making a film like this.
I mean, this was very much a case of, what do you expect me to do? Not break? I mean, half the cast is like Groundling's main company. I got Will Sasso over here. My abs would hurt by the time I left set because I would just be laughing so much and hoping the camera was not catching me ruining takes.
Yeah, I'm sure you get a good workout with the laughter. You don't have to go to the gym after, right?
Did not need to go. Did not need to do a single crunch. Ended up with like a 12-pack. It was great. It was really nice.
Hey, listen, you get a 2-for-1 making this movie. It's Matt, I was wondering where this was shot because I had that kind of Sundancey small town feeling to it.
We shot like half of it in LA, and then we spent 2 weeks in Idlewild, California, which is this like tiny little mountain town just east of LA. And it was really great. It was, it felt like, and we've said this before, it felt like summer camp. It was like, we all went into this like mountain village, and there wasn't really anybody there except for us. And there was actually another film crew that we would every now and there was another indie film, but they were making a horror movie. So just every now and then we'd be like, oh, there go those people that scream a lot. And we would just kind of wave. And, it was fun.
Yeah, I can just imagine. Yeah, and Diona, like different for you because obviously with you know, NCIS, it's so different to have and so be able to do something like this. You know, is this and to hone the comedy aspect of it as well. That, you know, must have been a great gift.
It was so nice. It was honestly so nice to get back to comedy. Not that I don't love, you know, drama and, you know, the action of kind of being in a weekly series like NCIS, but it was also really nice to have my props be like a clipboard and not like a dead body sometimes. So that's always lovely. And Idlewild is such a little dream town. You know, it's like this dreamy little mountain town where there's all these beautiful hikes and illegal chickens. Matt can tell you that story.
Oh, yeah. Illegal chickens. Okay, go for it.
We were trying to shoot, we were like, the whole thing, I mean, we shot so much every day and we were on a time crunch all the time. And we were trying to shoot this one kind of like a little bit of a heavier scene outside. Yeah. And all of a sudden there were just helicopters everywhere. And someone in town was walking by and they're like, oh yeah, they're going after the illegal chickens. And someone somewhere in the hills of Idlewild had an illegal chicken farm that they had to send helicopters after.
Yeah, like truly the SWAT team.
It was insane. And we were just waiting for the helicopters to pass. We're like, okay, you know where the chickens are. What do you do? Yeah. What do you need? What else do you need? Can we move this along, please?
Yeah, really? Come on.
It was crazy.
That is a good story. That's pretty funny for sure. So I know, you know, look, we're all just getting out of this pandemic, thank God, and everything. You know, we're moving on with work and stuff. Matt, what's coming up next for you?
I've worked on a few things in the last couple months, which I'm excited about. And then I've got one of my best friends and I were writing a thing and just got as many irons in the fire as I can get going. So
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
And John, I mean, have you started production back on NCIS? Give us a little scoop about what's going on with you.
We start back next week. Next week is a really exciting week for me because we start back production on NCIS and season 2 of my podcast, Periodic Talks, launches. I do that with Gillian Jacobs from Community.
I just spoke to her last week for Fear Street.
Oh, great. For Fear Street. Yes, we've got some of the cast for Fear Street on the podcast, as well as Jack Black, Mary Steenburgen. And we interview different scientists and mathematicians about like all the science that we missed in school, but it's really fun and funny. It's not just like a science lesson. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Okay. No, I'll look forward to the new season because I go for walks every day and I look for podcasts. So this is good. This is good to know.
Seriously. Yeah. It's honestly, it's my favorite podcast, but I'm biased.
Yeah. Well, you and Gillian for sure. I'm in. And just lastly, Diona, I just want to ask you, because when you went on to NCIS, of course you were fill in the shoes of a very popular character, but you right in there, like it was just natural. Was it a little nerve-wracking though for you?
Oh, for sure. I was like, I have pretty tall platform boots to fill, you know what I mean? But the whole crew was so welcoming. And here's a fun fact. I had just had knee surgery when I started NCIS, so I really couldn't walk quite yet. I was still in physical therapy and I just ditched my crutches. And I was so nervous. I was like, they're gonna like want me to run or jump over a car or something, and they're gonna be so disappointed when I can't. The whole crew, the whole cast, including Mark, kept coming over and being like, you need some ice here, let me get you a chair, like propping up my leg for me and showing me their like knee surgery scars, because everybody's had like some kind of surgery there. And it was really nice. I just felt really at home right away.
That's amazing. Well, clearly it's working. 19 seasons of that show. Wow, that's amazing. And now you're a great part of it. And Matt, like I say, I miss you on Man with a Plan. So I think the character needs a spin-off. What do you think?
I'm for it. I think so. I think there's a lot to discover still about that little man's life.
I agree.
Yeah, I cannot wait
to grow. He really, I was starting to get used to him, you know?
Yeah, he went on a few journeys in those few seasons. So I think there's a lot of fun to be had there.
Yeah, get him out of the trailer and get him his own office.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for your time today. I really, really appreciate it. Film Fest is a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it. And a real pleasure to talk to you both. Please have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This was lovely.
You're welcome. Nice meeting you both. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.